You know, instead of underplayed, I really should have called these playthroughs C- playthroughs. Not because of the quality, although, indeed, that might be a viable qualifier, but because most of the time that I spend making these gameplay videos is time that I should be working on my class assignments. Instead, I play video games, and I talk about them. Alright, we're in a cave. Yeah! The Cave of Wonders! What are we gonna find in this cave? We're gonna find a half-eaten corpse, what we're gonna find. Alright. At least several of my best trained to caught into the caves, finally eradicate Shyrak infestation, blah blah blah. Yeah, sounds like these Siths really know how to treat animals. Shyraks!
That's another one for me. That's another one for me. That's another one for me.
Am I not in range of all these guys yet? There we go. Had to keep on like inching forward after everyone I kill to get in range of the next one.
Let's settle this.
Another immortality belt. Where'd they run off to? They run off down here? Yeah, okay. Looks like we're all back. What's our map show us? We'll take the left path first. I usually take the right path whenever I'm in a cave. Which happens very often in my daily life. I find myself in caves quite a good bit of the time. Surrounded by deadly Takatas and Shyraks. Anything around here? No. It's a pretty spooky cave. It's got this fog rolling around. I think this is meant to be reminiscent of the dark force cave that Luke Skywalker encountered on Dagobah. Ooh, check this place out.
That's another one for me. That's another one for me.
These things look like giant flying... I don't know, they're like some kind of weird gargoyle things. Is that all of them dead yet? No, there's still some more over here.
At last.
Fortunately, it seems like we get experience for anything that dies, whether we kill it or not. So I could just leave these beasts to fight it out amongst themselves, probably.
That's another one for me.
Is that all of them? For now. Still some more Shyraks over there. Yeah, check out this cool chasm. It's pretty nifty. Make sure we explore it up and down both sides, not missing anything to loot. I used to consider myself pretty much a completionist of games because when I first got games, like my first console was a PlayStation, and it was very rare that I would get a new game. You know, I would get a new game once every couple months maybe. So I kind of got used to trying to suck the very marrow out of it, you know, making sure, like in Spyro, that I collected all the gems and freed all the dragons. You know, you want to complete it 100%, and maybe even do that a couple times. So that's why nowadays, or at least for a large part of my gaming career, as I said, I consider myself a completionist. But here recently, I don't know, I've been able to suppress that instinct a lot. You know, I'm a little better at just, you know, going with the main story mission and progressing through the main game without having to complete everything. But one holdover of that behavior is I do feel compelled to loot everything. It's really hard for me to see loot and just let it go. Especially in a game like, you know, an RPG, of course, because, you know, you never know when you're going to find some really cool item on a corpse. And especially with regards to Knights of the Republic here, the very first time that I played it, I forgot to loot the HK droid on Paragus, and he has one of your parts that you need to rebuild HK-47, right? And it meant that for the entire game, like that was a companion character I could not unlock because I was not thorough in my looting practices. I was heartbroken. So since then, I try to, you know, loot everything I can. But I also recognize, like, at this point in the game, we've already got some of the best equipment we can possibly get. I don't really think there's a whole lot else we can get that's an upgrade for us, so it's not as big a priority for me. And pretty much this entire gameplay series for Knights of the Old Republic 2, the Sith Lords content restoration mod, has become more of a way for me to commentate on Dragon Age Inquisition, which, as I've stated before, I'm playing through right now. I'm not recording a playthrough of it, just because there's not really a whole lot of point to me recording modern games, because I feel like the market is already very well covered on that. I mean, you got channels like the Rad Brad, which does a phenomenal job of covering modern games as they're released, and I just don't see a need to really compete with that. I prefer sticking around with older, lesser-known titles, you know, things that might have slipped under the radar, or just need a little bit more coverage.
That's another one for me.
Is that all? Nope, still more.
That's another one for me.
It's a good place for an ambush.
Everyone, more where that came from.
But what I was going to say about Dragon Age Inquisition, that there's so many things that really disappoint me about that game, actually. And one of them is the fact that you really can't skip the side quests. Like, in order to progress with the main story mission, you have these arbitrary, like, gateways where you have to have completed so many side quests in order to continue the main mission. And it's a cool concept. I like what I think they were trying to do. I think what they're trying to do is say, all right, instead of having this big, long, drawn-out plot line that you have to follow linearly, we're going to have like a few main key plot points, and then the rest you can fill in yourself. You can choose what quest you want to do and kind of tailor the experience to yourself. And it's a good concept, and I think it would have worked better if the side quests had been a little bit more engaging, as they had been in previous Dragon Age games. Because the side quests in Inquisition are all pretty much fetch quests, you know? They're not, oh wow, that's a nasty looking thing. Is that thing cloaked over there? Is that what is shimmering? It's weird. Yeah, the Inquisition quests, they're all just fetch quests, you know, and there's not really any interaction that you have with any of the NPCs. You don't really get to make a whole lot of choices in the side quests, like you do in Knights of the Old Republic here.
The power I felt coming through the caves just now. I believe you are strong enough to explore the tomb ahead. This tomb has not been plundered. Its mysteries may still be intact, but so might its traps. Take great caution.
What is that? Can't go any further.
Whoa. I can't even see what's blocking me. I think you're on your own for this one.
You will have to face the challenges of this tomb alone. Are you ready?
I'm not ready yet. Make sure I loot everything first. Oh, I guess I am ready. Okay. And it's weird. As a result, like, the side quests in Inquisition feel like a chore you have to go through in order to complete the main story. Whereas here, in Knights of the Old Republic, because the side quests have a lot of character to them, because I can interact with the quest givers and I can make choices, you know, during these quests, I'm compelled to do them of my own accord. I'm interested in doing them, you know? I've pretty much done every side quest here instead of just beelining through the main story mission like I normally do, because the side quests are so engaging.
Do not heed the words of the Jedi Council. The Republic will fall if we do not act now. Already the Mandalorians have taken 3 systems along the Rim. They will only grow more powerful with time. Come stand with me. We will use our might to help the Republic in its time of need. Join Revan and I. Together we will battle this menace.
I've been here. This is when you recruited me for the Mandalorian War.
The Jedi Council is wise, but will take too long to deal with this threat. We must act now to stop the Mandalorians. I have heard of you. Your masters speak well of you, of your skills in battle. Join us.
I join without hesitation, against the wishes of the Council.
The Jedi Council is wise, but can make mistakes. History has proven this time and time again. The Council seems content to watch, to debate, while entire systems fall to the Mandalorians. If we don't act now, there may be no Republic army to assist in the future. I sense you will join us. What are your reasons?
Was it a mistake to go? I still haven't made up my mind how I feel about the Jedi joining the Mandalorian Wars. I don't know if I feel like it's a mistake or not. Like, there's a lot of really good points on both sides. This is one of those very gray decisions. You know, it's not clearly good or evil. I couldn't sit by while so many suffered.
A good reason. Delay would have brought ruin, and there was much suffering. You had to act. It was within our power to end the war, and the Council chose to debate behind closed doors while planets burned.
We never gave them a chance to reveal their plan.
Their vaunted wisdom bred only in action, and that would have led to destruction greater than anything born of the dark side. So, if you could do it all again, the real question is, would you? The Mandalorians await on the edge of space, eager to crush the Republic. You know how this turns out. Would you do it any different, knowing what it costs you? Knowing what it costs the rest?
Ooh. Ooh, tricky. I think I'm gonna stand by my decision. I wouldn't have done anything differently. My choices have made me the person I am today.
So knowing all that would transpire, would you still follow Revan and I? Excellent.
Well, even Bastila joined them.
And now you are all alone. Would you join me now? You didn't follow Revan and I down our path. Join us. Your journey hasn't ended yet.
Wait, Bastila didn't join you? She warned us all to obey the Council.
She didn't join us that day, but in time, she came to our way of thinking. And even before then, she wavered and wondered what would have happened. It is a familiar path. There were those who wished to follow you to war, yet remain behind. They came to hate you for the choices they wished to make.
I didn't follow you then, and I certainly won't now.
Are you so certain? Every step along the way, we did what we thought was right. Perhaps the same path lays before you, but the time of words are done. Now it is time you experienced the full power of the dark side.
Oh, snap. Can I stasis these guys? Yeah, there we go. Should probably prioritize taking down Bastila. She's a toughie. Alright. Well, we passed our first trial. I really appreciate the story in Knights of the Old Republic here for having so many gray areas. Star Wars is a universe that is typically filled with very concrete black and white decisions, you know, like good versus evil is what it's all about. And even BioWare games in general actually tend to uphold that kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Dichotomy. Mass Effect was probably the first BioWare game that I can think of that really made it a little bit more gray than just, you know, clearly good and evil. No, actually, let me take that back. Jade Empire did a good job of that too. But most everything before that was pretty much just, you know, you can be light or dark. And that's fun, you know, in an Infamous kind of way. But it's definitely not as interesting as having to make, you know, more realistic decisions. And I feel like when Obsidian got the IP and they were able to develop the Sith Lords here, they did a great job of really exploring how sometimes those lines of good and evil aren't always clearly demarcated, you know? And Kreia is an annoying character in a couple of ways because she tends to be a little bit arrogant, and she's obviously a liar and a cheat and a betrayer and all that kind of stuff. And I find it very frustrating that it's very obvious to us as the player, but the player character can't act on that. You know, we still carry her around in her party, we still follow what she says to do, even though through cutscenes that the player character is not aware of, we know she's a pretty shifty character, you know? So on that front, she's annoying, but at the same time, she oftentimes has some pretty interesting insight, you know? I like, especially some of her logic for why light side actions might not always be the best choice, you know? I don't really agree with the whole, like, people learn through struggle. Ooh, severed arm. Sensei. That page was blown out, and operable final message. Others were commenting they could sneak past Chirac. I was ordered to lock the door and wait their turn. Hope they can find us the way out of here. Yeah, the whole, like, you go stronger through struggle. Yeah, I kind of get that. It's not something I can totally get behind. But I thought it was very interesting when we were on Nar Shaddaa, and we decided to give some money to the beggars. And she mentioned, like, oh, well, because of that, you've made him a target for other people. You know, others are going to try to come and take his stuff, and they might even kill him for it, you know? That was the first time that I was playing a game like this that I was like, oh, wow, so, like, the good option might not always be the good option, you know? Start my 4-speed on? Yeah, dude. Look at these little suction cups these guys have on their faces. A lot of Chiracs. Chirac, Meshach, and Abednego. Actually, that was Abednego. That was his name. Tell you what, like, it's become kind of in vogue in modern times to really, like, be too cool for religion. Like, oh yeah, we're too smart to believe in that silly Bible, you know? And I'm not going to be so bold as to say that I know what the truth is or not, but the Bible is a really interesting book just to read, just like the stories and stuff that are in it. You know, I find myself referencing a lot of the myths and stories that are told through the Bible very often in my daily life, you know? Of course, here I'm referring to the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who were these three Israelites that were cast into a furnace where they're not consumed by the fire. Right, what is this? Might as well take this, I guess. Okay. Powers. Got force camouflage. Yeah. Alright. What else we got here? Not really anything I need. Leveling up has almost become a chore at this point because I'm already a pretty well-developed character. I don't really need anything else. It's pretty much just the stat increases all I'm interested in. Pew pew pew! Look at that, my blast is catching on fire. Throwing so much hot lead down range. Alright. Oh, maybe I can only use the Force Leap ability if I have a lightsaber equipped. I should try that the next time. In fact, I'll go and switch weapons now. Shoo. As you can see, we've switched our crystals to be 2 orange crystals because I found enough instead of 2 silver. I do like the silver, but orange is my favorite color probably.
Com says we've lost another heavy droid transport. How can we break through the Mandalorian lines without support? The path is mined and the place is crawling with enemies. I know we've got our orders to press forward, but we're at quarter strength. We can't, General. It's impossible. We need to retreat.
I remember. We charged the line. The losses were terrible.
General, it would be suicide to go forward. There's just too few of us. We already lost half the men just getting to the path. They've got the rest of the company pinned down by the crash site. You can't possibly ask the troops to go forward. If you ask us to charge, will it make a difference? Will our sacrifice mean something?
Ooh. Only Revan can answer that. Even afterwards, no one could piece together exactly what happened. We won, though.
We will press forward if you ask it. The path is mined. If you ask us to charge, there will be losses, General.
Let me go first this time. I'll try and disable the mines.
Thank you, General. Thank you.
Again, making these hard decisions, you know? Alright, do I have the skill to disable these? Apparently I do. Nice. I'm gonna save you, ghost soldiers. Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic. Hurt Locker Edition. Strange that my force points don't seem to be regenerating. I wonder if that's because of the area I'm in. Maybe like it prevents me from...
And now we fight!
Alright, let's see if I can use this force leap now. Let's see. Oh, we got nothing here. Anything over here? Maybe it's a passive ability. Maybe if I just select an attack, I'll force leap to him. No? Okay, well screw it. Let's switch back to our blasters. There we go. Alright, I won. More Shirax! Oh, my force powers are back. Look at that. Alright. This is a really interesting level. I really am enjoying this a lot. I like the, you know, kind of facing your memories thing they have going on here. I'm a big fan of games that do this, that kind of play head games. Obviously, Psychonauts is fantastic for that reason, allowing you to kind of explore these weird psychic landscapes. Oh, looks like we got a crate dragon ahead. Or Hissis. Assuming that's how you pronounce that. Boom. What's my map say? Assuming that the northern path is... Oh, there's somebody standing there. It's interesting. Is it Kreia?
You are to be commended for making it this far.
Kreia? What are you doing here?
You've revisited the dark moments of your past, and now you must face the present. Yes, there better be some favorite small presents for Entrance Tomb. I think I'm gonna go with that because it's funny.
Yes, there better be some very worthwhile presents for enduring this tomb.
Your confusion is natural. The others and I will help you understand.
The others?
Get away from her. She's a dark Jedi.
Okay, I'll play along. What makes you think Kreia's a dark Jedi?
Atton, I've had enough of your snide contempt.
Kreia, calm down! Despite our differences, we need to work together.
Hey, what's the commotion here?
Stay out of this, Beodor. This is a personal dispute between Atton and myself.
You're threatening Atton with a lightsaber, and I'm supposed to just stay out of it? No.
Can I just say something?
The three of you would challenge me? You sorely underestimate the power of the Force.
Think again, Kreia. Your dark influence will end.
Your friends are all arrayed against me. Will you stand for this?
My friends are right, Kreia. You have been manipulating me from the very beginning.
You, of all people, would judge me so. Am I not worthy of redemption?
Ooh, tricky. Okay, I won't attack you, but I won't stop my companions from doing so.
So you will do nothing. Apathy is death. Worse than death. Because at least a rotting corpse feeds the beasts and insects.
Apathy is death. Apathy is death.
Not you too, T3.
Apathy is death. Apathy is death.
Statement. Apathy is death.
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 Okay, I get it, you guys. Apathy's death. Jeez, calm down. Well, I don't know if I'm ready for this. I might be about to get my butt handed to me. My party member's pretty badass. I think I'm gonna die. Yep. I have not even begun to make dents in these guys. Nope. Kreia, what is this? Huh. Strange, it said I didn't die. That's weird.